Times are absolutely crazy. And now, more than ever, we want to make sure we're not only taking care of our bodies, but we're taking care of our wallets. Today, we're making roasted sweet potatoes with tahini butter chickpeas, thick sweet potato wedges, crispy seasoned chickpeas, and a creamy drizzle of tahini butter to bring it all home. Packed with nutrients, built entirely out of pantry staples, and cost significantly less than a gallon of gasoline per serving. Let's get into what you're gonna need. We're going with 2 large sweet potatoes, a can of chickpeas, tahini butter or cashew butter, a little bit of plant butter, orange for zesting, lemon, some olive oil, and spices. We're starting with our sweet potatoes. For this recipe, you need 2 large ones. Though, I'll be honest, the ones I grabbed today are borderline extra large, possibly 2x. Okay, so we're only going to use 1 today because of that reason. I mean, let's be serious. One of them is like half the size of my cutting board. I want to show you 2 ways to cut your sweet potatoes into wedges. Both start the same way. Slice the potato in half lengthwise. Then split that half in half again lengthwise. For this first method, turn the half skin side down. Place your blade in the center and carefully slice through that quarter lengthwise. The one thing to be careful about here is that the potato can rock on the cutting board. So, keep your hand on it pretty, stern, and take your time and do not rush it. For the second method, and this is probably my go-to method, lay the potato flesh side down on one of its flat sides. Then cut straight down through the middle of the potato at a 45-degree angle. Way less wobble, way more control. Once the wedges are cut, spread a bit of oil onto your baking tray. This is gonna help the potatoes not stick to your baking tray. Now for some counter space, just toss the wedges on there and set them aside. From here, we're gonna work on our spice mixtures. We're making 2 separate blends today, one for our sweet potatoes and one for our chickpeas. For the sweet potato blend, into the bowl, we're adding coriander, smoked paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, cinnamon, turmeric, salt, and pepper. I'm also supposed to be adding orange zest here, so let's talk about that. So we have an orange, and we're supposed to be zesting it into the bowl with the rest of the spices at this current moment. But I actually want to leave it out of the bowl for now, and that's intentional. I want that fresh zest flavor at the end. Like right when the potatoes come out of the oven. But if you're not concerned about that, what you could do is zest it right into the spice mixture. And personally, either way works, and they're both absolutely tasty. This is just a personal preference. For the chickpea blend, into the second bowl, we're adding cumin, smoked paprika, turmeric, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and a pinch of red pepper flakes. From here, give each bowl a good whisk, and then set them aside. Okay, let's bring the potatoes back to the main stage. We're going to brush them with some olive oil on both sides of the wedges. I'm using a brush here to keep things clean, but you can absolutely do this by hand. Now, take your sweet potato spices and distribute it evenly across each wedge. But don't forget to save some for the other side after you flip them over. We want that seasoned very well too. All right, once these are looking good, you want these to go into the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for just about 25 to 30 minutes, flipping them halfway through. As a visual cue, and somewhat as a physical cue, the edges should be golden with light char spots on them. And the center should be fairly soft when you press it with a fork. That caramelization on the end, that's exactly what we're after. So don't pull them away early. While those are roasting, we're going to pull together our chickpeas. In a large skillet, add a bit of olive oil over medium heat. Once the oil is hot, add your drained and dried chickpeas to the skillet. Let those cook for about 5 to 7 minutes until they're lightly crisp. Here's a pro tip. You're stirring these consistently, but between each stir, let these sit for about 60 to 90 seconds undisturbed. That's how you get those little golden crispy spots on the side. Now, add your chickpea spice blend right on top and stir everything together. Let that cook for an additional 2 to 3 minutes until it's fragrant and the chickpeas are lightly blistered. When that's ready, pull it off the stove and set it aside. From here, we're gonna move into making our tahini butter for the drizzle. In a small bowl, we're adding tahini, lemon juice, melted plant butter, garlic powder, and a small pinch of salt. Stir that together until combined. All right, I wanna walk you through what's going to happen in the small bowl because at some point, it may look like you ruined it, and you didn't, and I wanna help assure that for you. As you start mixing, the tahini is going to turn pale. Then it's gonna get super thick. From there, it's gonna look somewhat almost grainy. And right about here is typically where folks think they possibly did something wrong. It's just evidence of the emulsification process starting. From here, I like to start adding a few tablespoons of water, one at a time, and then continuing to stir between each. As you keep going, you'll see that it loosens up and you start to get that texture you want. You're looking for something like warm honey or pancake syrup texture. Smooth, pourable, creamy is the go-to. Our potatoes should be coming out of the oven right about now. Look at that color on those edges. If you held back on your orange zest like I did, now's the moment. Zest the orange right over the top of the wedges while they're still hot. And if you want these to go from like homemade to, oh my God, this is restaurant quality, all you gotta do is lightly brush them with the teeniest bit of maple syrup. I'm talking like a very light hand here. It won't make them sweet. It's just going to help pull out that caramelization flavor and give them like a beautiful gloss. It's like one of those little finishing moves that make people say, you know, what's your secret? Plate your sweet potato wedges, pile the chickpeas on top, and drizzle over that tahini butter sauce. I'll even add some chopped parsley or cilantro, and sometimes even a bit more of that citrus flavor from the lemon or even the orange. As promised, this recipe comes in about $1.75 per serving. And it was made from simple ingredients that you could find at the grocery store, but most likely already have in your pantry. This full recipe can be found linked in the description or head right on over to my website, makeitdairyfree.com. Thank you so much for watching. We are cooking, we're saving money. I mean, till next time. Believe in good. Peace.